All right. Good evening, and welcome to Ask the Unicorn. I am Ahura Z, and today I will be speaking to you from an old voice that was born before the earth was conceived, many, many moons ago. Just kidding.
You should totally do the whole show in your Native American voice. Why? It's not rude. You're a part of Apache.
I know, but
anyway.
Still, if I did my show in this voice, it would creep people out.
That's kind of
probably the way that it's doing right now, with my mask and hat.
You're like, Scenario says, wearing a mask and cowboy hat. Yes.
Yes. As you all can see, the stories of the Lone Ranger were false. It was really me. That's right. I am the Lone Ranger.
Lone Stranger. Awesome.
All right, that'll be enough of that.
Today is episode 31, and it is April 30th, 2014. Welcome to Ask the Unicorn.
And how are you all this evening? Now that I'm speaking with my normal voice.
That was almost close enough to William Shatner.
No. If I was being William Shatner, I would space my words out more. Emphasis. Okay, I hope you're having now I don't know what voice that was. I am hoping to have a great show this evening. I know that you've all had about a week or so to formulate your questions, and I hope you have some good ones. Tonight I'm going to try to go the whole entire show without ranting about anything. I'm just going to simply answer what questions that you have. Now, that leads me to this point. I will answer questions of the nature of metaphysical, paranormal, mystical, spiritual, and magical. If you have questions to these points, I will be more than happy to answer them all. However, there are two types of questions that I do not answer. So please do not venture into those categories. Most of you have been with me for a while, so you know exactly what that is. For those of you that do not, I do not answer questions about when someone is going to die or whether they're going to die. Nor do I answer questions to the effect of whether or not someone is cheating on their spouse or if their spouse is cheating on them. Because, you know, if I do, then I have to do 2 shows a night. And then you tell your friends and I wind up doing 3 shows a night. And I'm just not going to do it. Anyway, as long as you ask questions that have to do with these categories, and aside from those 2 questions, I will be more than happy to deal with any issue that you have. Remember, this particular show is called Ask the Unicorn, myself being the unicorn, for those of you that are not familiar with what a unicorn actually is. It is a person that has the ability to dispel evil, also has the ability to tap into the universal knowledge and use that knowledge to benefit themselves and others. So we're going to do away with a few myths. 1, it is okay for me to use my gifts to help myself. I am not allowed to do things like gamble. I'm not allowed to do things like give out lottery numbers or things, or for that matter, even play lottery numbers. I can usually give numbers to someone else from time to time, just as a suggestion. Yes, I know who's going to win the World Series. I always do. All that good stuff. However, I like to stay out of those things. There are people who have gifts that delve into that particular type of thing. I am not one of them. I help people develop themselves spiritually. I also help them develop themselves if they have a gift that has been given to them by the universe. I help them to focus that gift and use it for the betterment of themselves and mankind and womankind. I am not a religious person. Religion was made by man. I follow the will of the universe, whatever that will may lead me to do, as long as it is positive and benevolent and good. Chaos and order are of the same vein to me. I'm not one that goes around and judges how people think about their lives or what it is they choose to do with their lives. You know, if there are people that decide that they're going to dedicate their lives to darkness, that's their thing. It's not my job to sit around and judge them. If there are people who are going to dedicate their lives to light, that is their thing. I'm not going to sit around and judge them. We all have our paths. My thing is to answer questions that will help a person along their path. Now, my alignment could be called light, if you'd like to know. And I have made my choice to support light and life, and to do all of those things according to light, life, and honor. If you have questions, if you need help, if you have all of a sudden discovered that you have some gifts, or there is a part in your life that has been blank to you that you are just now discovering, or if there's an episode that has happened, this includes things of an extraterrestrial nature, please feel free to ask these questions, and I will answer them for you. If there's a problem that comes up in your energy, I will give you the quickest possible solution. If there is something that you need to get to that will benefit you, I will get you there. I will be as attentive and as thorough as I possibly can. Understand that you all have some questions that can't be answered with a yes or no, or a very simple or short answer. I'll try to deal with them as quickly as possible. For those of you that would like to actually talk to me, you can give us a call at area code 207-347-5686. And you know how to reach us in the chat room. I teach classes. I do not teach for free, however, for those of you that believe that just because I teach in mysticism and metaphysics, it should just be free. Think about this. Do you go to college? They teach you about math, or they teach you about other things. Do you get to go to college for free? Well, guess what? I've established a school of metaphysics, and I do not teach for free. However, I can always work things out with people. Knowledge is one of those things that should be given freely. However, we have things that are called bills, and I must pay them. All right. That being said, what questions do we have this evening? Just one?
We have one so far, and it is via email from Susan, not our Susan, but another Susan.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "This sounds crazy. We lived in a house that I actually think was haunted. I could give you all the stories, but my 12-year-old daughter is telling me the man that died there is following her in a blue light."
Okay. The blue light is actually her ability or her vibration to see. The person that may be following her is maybe helping that blue light, or being within that blue light to show her that is not malevolent. However, she can tell that person that she's not interested in communicating with them. What is your daughter is showing some level of telepathy or mediumship or something like that. If it were psychic, I tell you different. The blue light is the key there. Wow. Which basically, the blue light's the blue light of telepathy. You already know that. Yeah. Why would you ask me why?
For your viewers.
Well, the viewers can ask me that. Okay? So, if you are having thoughts of getting her help, what you might do is speak to either another medium or myself, and I can deal with that if it bothers her. However, it doesn't sound like it's malevolent at all. Okay, so hopefully this will work itself out. Usually they're just curious because she has the energy signature of someone who should be able to talk to them. How old is your daughter? I would like to know if she's listening.
12.
Okay, 12 years old.
12-year-old.
Okay, 12 years old is a very pivotal moment for a young person. That means that she is just really waking up. She may have hit the deck this way and all of a sudden it's happening. You're going to have to deal with that. She's not crazy. It's not crazy. It's really interesting. We get people who are gifted get told that we're crazy all the time because there are people who define reality that don't have a specific gift or don't notice that specific gift. In truth, we are more sane usually than those that call themselves normal. Okay, so your daughter's not being crazy, neither are you. And if you need to have her trained, or you need to make sure that she's focusing these gifts so that they can be useful, or even to contain them, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to help you. All right.
And our phone number is 207-347-5686.
Okay. Now, for those of you that don't know this, I'm always a teacher. Even when I'm just having fun, I'm still the teacher. It's not that I set out to be the teacher. Teaching just kind of, it sounds so corny, but anybody who's a teacher really has to be able to say this, and that is, teaching chose me. You know, I tried hard to steer away from that, but it actually did. That means basically that there's some things that I get to do, and there's a lot of things that I just don't get to do, and not because I feel like doing it and I'm really mad that I can't. It's because in order for me to be a good and effective teacher, there's some things that I must do, and there's some things that I must refrain from. I am always correcting people. It doesn't matter where I am. There is no place where I change my personality to fit the general public of that particular place. Wherever you see Ahura Z is exactly what you're going to get. If I'm Ahura Z here, I'm Ahura Z outside. I'm Ahura Z at the swimming pool. I'm Ahura Z at the gym. I am always Ahura Z. This is one of those things that you can depend on, is that I am always myself. Okay? And that should be helpful to you. And it should also help you to be yourself. Remember, we've been taught a lot of things, and then when we don't conform to those things, or don't conform to the sociality of these things, we get called names like, what's that, selfish? But in truth, the only person that actually you have to not be selfish with is you and those that you love. And that's the bottom line of that. Okay, so is there anything else going on in the chat room?
Nope.
Okay.
Rant away.
Well, I don't have anything at the moment that really calls for me ranting. As you see, my tone is rather calm. It is rather calm. And I'm being the kinder, gentler Ahura Z this evening. Kinda. Sorta. Not really. But I am. See, I'm smiling. So, if you have any questions, please give us a call. Now, we will be changing our set probably next week. Kind of. The unicorn stays. But we'll be doing some other fancy things just to kind of break up the monotony for you all. I will talk about these. You all heard and saw probably my rants on chemtrails and things. And I'm very, very serious about that particularly. I'm doing a lot of research right now. I've done research on chemtrails now for about 10 years. And it's getting rather interesting that I find it very interesting the more people don't know about this and more people are not doing something about it. You know, or at least attempting to do something about it. And then the very few people that look and say, you know, this is wrong, they all look at these people like we're crazy. But, you know, I've gotten footage of, evidently the pilot of this giant jet plane forgot to turn off the chemtrail switch and landed with it. So the whole, well, it happens only at a certain altitude that there's moisture in the air that causes the long contrails, was wholeheartedly proven to be crap.
What could we do with that footage? I mean...
Well, you know, what can be done with that footage is actually being done. And hopefully there are people who are archiving these things, because I decided to do it myself, you know, archive some things in case we actually get our day in a place where we get to air our grievances, especially since these things are making people very, very sick. It's also causing a lot of weather anomalies. And I think we should have our day to be represented in not only a general court of law, but a specialized court of law, because I believe that the people that are doing this just did it thinking that we were that stupid that we were just going to let it happen. And hopefully we're not. At least I'm not. You know, and I've had people actually call me and say things like, well, you know, you really should be careful. Be careful of what? Okay? What? They're going to do something to me? Oh, that would be so inventive that, you know, that would also prove my case. You know, so it's time to stand up and be counted. Stop being cowards. Okay? Cowardice doesn't help anybody. You know, there's a whole thing that one man, not just one man, but one that we know of, Gandhi, changed the face of a whole nation. And then Martin Luther King used his tactics to change the face of this nation. And there have been people who have done great things all throughout our history that refuse to sit down and take a back seat, so to speak. You know, just because of who they were, or just because we deserve the right to breathe clean air. What's next? We're going to get charged for clean air? Is that the thing? Are we going to get charged a fee? They're going to like dirty up the air so much so they're only going to give the rich people clean air and then have us have to pay for clean air.
But they have things like that, oxygen bars.
No, that's dumb. That's not clean air. No, I don't mean.
They do.
No, I know they
Oxygen
do.
bars.
It is the most ridiculous thing. But okay, it's a concept. You know, someone has to make a buck. I get it, and they're not really harming anybody. I'm talking about dirtying up the entire atmosphere and making it extremely dangerous to breathe, and then all of a sudden coming up with a filtration system that is recommended for you if you want good health, but then you wind up having to pay a phenomenal amount of money to have clean air. And then there's this certain place that the chemtrails never happen. They found a way to just kind of separate the air quality from where it is that people like us live, and then all of a sudden we wind up working for the rich people and put ourselves in a form of slavery. If you people don't think like this, there's something seriously wrong with you, because this is exactly what's going on. At some point in time, you're going to get a bill for clean air or your air filtration system. You know, the same way as you got an electric bill, the same way as you got a water bill, the same way as you got a heat bill, you know, the same way as we have to define who we are, or the worth of the self-worth of our lives based upon little strips of paper and coins and a piece of plastic that says Visa or MasterCard or crap like that. You know, you have to kind of think of these things ahead of time and hopefully prepare for them. For instance, I got a thing that was showing that Monsanto is still trying to own everything that we eat. In other words, they want to be able to patent seeds so that farmers can't save seeds anymore that are not Monsanto seeds. Okay? How evil is that? Like they have the right to decide what nature has provided for us, and we're patented it because it's a seed. Fine. Tell you what. You want to do the GMO seeds, and keep your GMO seeds and leave us alone. Take your GMO seeds, go to a private island, and feed all you want to. However, farmers have been working these lands since the beginning of time, and all of a sudden you're going to come along with your crappy Monsanto stuff and then decide to say, oh, well, we want a patent on seeds? No, absolutely not. You don't get that. You didn't make vegetables. All you did was tampered with them and made them poison. And nobody wants to eat your crap. I still don't know why we even have Monsanto in this country. Why?
Because they have a finger in the government that we
Well, you know,
run.
I got two thoughts about that. You know, one of them, I love my country, and anybody who believes that I'm not patriotic will definitely get a fight on their hands, because I am. However, I know that there's some bad things that are happening with us right now. I think that we've been duped 1 time, 3 times, 4, 10 times too many. And I think that hopefully we're going to get smart and start saying we need to prepare for things. But I'm not going to sit and say that our government is the worst government on the face of this earth, because I really don't believe that. As a matter of fact, I believe that our government has some of the strongest points on the face of this earth, and there are a lot of countries that are worse off than us. However, there's some things that are being done right now that are very, very ugly, that I know that our government officials should be the ones that stop, because they're supposed to represent us. Remember, in case any of you are watching right now, you are supposed to represent us. You are supposed to help keep us alive. You are supposed to help keep us healthy. You're supposed to keep us strong. And you're supposed to make sure that we have, what is that thing? What's that word? Oh yeah, freedom. Real freedom. Not freedom to have a crappy company like Monsanto poison us slowly, methodically, and then spray things in the air so that it supports their poisoned vegetables and kills everything else. Okay, you know that thing that they were saying, well, we're hoping that the chemtrailing will reflect the rays of the sun back into the universe. Well, guess what? The trees need the rays of the sun, idiots. You know, photosynthesis, remember, helps the trees to do what trees do, which is, oh yeah, clean the air. You know, if you're bouncing stuff that is coming, greenhouse emissions that are coming from the earth back into the earth, guess what? We all get poisoned. And you really need to think about these things. You know, and I don't see how any any person that works for these companies, knowing that it's poisoning people and knowing that their families could possibly be poisoned, would work for Monsanto. I don't get that at all. If there's, anything that's called brainwashed and stupid, because they're working for a company that's poisoning everybody, yet running the risk to have their own families poisoned, how do you make good sense of that? Really? How about the chemtrailers that are dumping poison all over the place? Have they no families? And if they don't, do they just even have common decency, for goodness sake? And if they don't, then they're aliens, and it means that I want to talk to them because I'm about fed up with their crap. Anyway.
Well, wow. Mini rant. We have a caller on the line.
Sorry about that.
She's been patiently waiting. Kathy Silver.
Hi, Kathy Silver.
Hello.
How are you? Hi, you'll have to turn your TV down. Or your computer.
I'm listening to you right now, but the sound is off.
Yeah, it's because...
I agree with everything you say.
Yeah, you have to turn your sound down.
There's a lag.
There's a funny lag that happens. Oh yeah, technology was supposed to take care of that, but it didn't.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay. I'm going to turn our phone volume up.
Okay, turn the phone. Okay, good. And how are you this evening?
I am good.
Good.
Thanks. And you?
I'm good. What can I do for you this evening?
First I want to touch on what you were just talking about, and I agree fully. And I dream of a world where we won't have, or we won't be afraid to stand up for what we believe in.
Right.
People are so afraid. I see the chemtrails, I feel the results of the medical system on my body and the food, and I'm trying to adjust that presently. But more people need to find their fearlessness and stand up.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a lot more of us than there are of them.
That's the whole thing, Remember, these government officials are supposed to represent us, which basically means that they know that there's a lot more of us than them. Not that we're looking for a revolt or anything like that. That would be barbaric and stupid. But what we need to do is to stand and be accounted and make sure that they are doing the things that we voted them in office to do in the first place.
Amen. And what I have been seeing recently, even up to today, is we, the people, are all representing each other.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, the government can piss off. If enough of us stood up, we could create our own new government.
Well, that would take a lot of work, and unfortunately, what we need to do is make sure that the government I'm just as much a rebel as you. However, I've grown up over the years and decided that that would be great. We can create our own new government. What we need to do is create our own community and force the government that we have elected. And because our government is actually the way that it's supposed to run, our government is totally efficient if it's running the way that it's supposed to run. We need to get the people out of office that are in there corrupting it. And we need to find a way to do that. And we need to amass ourselves and make them understand that, no, we are not going to stand for it anymore. This small handful of people that have been corrupting every single thing need to get out of office. The system is perfect. Who's running the system is what's flawed.
And it starts with community. Change starts at home.
That's correct. It starts right with the community. We hear a lot of slogans, and they've taken a lot of even that whole Congress and Senate thing, have taken a lot of the things that we hold dear, like sayings such as, it takes a village to train a child. And that's true. It does take a village. However, the village has to cooperate, and the village has to be healthy enough so that they can actually get out of bed and look for that child and make sure that it's being trained. So if you're starving the villagers, there's no way the children can be brought up right. And we see exactly that's happening. Look at today's children. You've got little girls that are like, 11, 12, 13, 14, and their mode of dress is see-through leggings with a sweater.
And a thong.
And a thong.
Than a normal adult.
I mean, it's just amazing. And the sad part about it is that their parents are allowing them to do that. These little girls allowing them to be dressed this way, and then saying, well, you're looking at my child's behind. Nobody wants to. Seriously. But then in many cases, the parents will try to discipline the child, and the child will do something like threaten to call CPS. What's that place?
DHS.
Child Protective Service. Yeah. I've even heard a girl say, well, a little kid say, well, I'll call and say that you did something. And the other kid got really pissed off about that. But when children can actually look at their parents, because our system has actually condoned children being able to abuse the system, and other people coaching children to abuse the system by saying, well, my parents abused me and all they did was took your eye touch. Seriously? How's that abusive?
Exactly.
So many parents are afraid to raise their children.
I lived a crazy life, and when my daughter was 4, I got myself some help because I didn't want that for my daughter, and the results have been amazing. She's a healer now.
Good. Good. There's a point in time where you need, parents need to use that one wonderful and mystical and powerful word with their children. No.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
However,
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay. My dad passed away 5 years ago.
Okay.
And before he passed, we would go on little, jaunts to the lake by ourselves and talk, and we talk about death. And my dad promised he would come and show me a sign when he died. And on the night he died, I was holding his hand, and it was really quiet. It felt quiet, and up to my left, up above, sorta, peripheral vision maybe, there was a being. It was not human, and the face was like all kinds of different colors moving. It had no eyes, and it had no eyeballs, but it had eyes. And the question has been, I guess, haunting me, was that my dad as he is, or was I looking at the face of Christ? Or,
that's interesting. That's rather, well, if that's one of those things you kind of have to be there for. I would think more than anything is probably your dad's spiritual body.
That's what resonates with my soul. So.
Okay. So you got an opportunity to actually see your dad's spiritual body.
Yeah, it was smiling. Believe it or not, a big smile.
Oh no, I believe it.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I've seen it quite a few times. And in truth, it's very difficult to tell the difference, because we are all part of the greater spirit. And since we're all part of the greater spirit, we will resemble the greater spirit. So we're all the one. We're just different aspects or different facets of the same diamond. So of course we're going to resemble the diamond. So I would say that's your dad's spiritual body, and you got given a gift.
I have more questions, but I'm going to save them for later. I love your show.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
And I'm a new fan.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Well, you can call in at any time. You too. You have a wonderful night. Thank you for tuning into the show. All right. Night. Okay, that was Kathy Solar. I like talking to people like that.
Yeah.
That's really great that you got to see your dad's spiritual body. That's awesome. And I'm sure that he's looking at you now. I'm very proud of you. Now, I really didn't mean to get into that rant, but it was kind of apropos. So, do we have any other questions from the chat room?
We do. Melinda Amand.
Hi, Melinda.
Says, I noticed your calmness tonight. It is nice. That was prior to your mini rant.
What? I didn't, not be calm.
Oh, and We have a question from Christine. She says, can Z explain why certain areas feel or bring on a sense of calmness like the desert or the mountains, and why the city or certain areas can make you feel almost scared? Not all areas, but you know, how you can almost sense the spirit of a place. Does that make sense?
Well, let me ask Z. Z, can you answer that? Yes. Yes, I can. The reason is because different places have different energy fields, and there are these places that are actually called power spots, and there are positive power spots and there are negative power spots. It doesn't make them good or evil. It just makes them either positive in nature or negative in nature, according to each person. For instance, you could go to a place that makes you feel very, very powerful and very, very strong, yet another person can go to that exact place and not get the same resonance that you do. You know, it just depends on who it is and who you are. The beach is one of those wonderful places that just about everybody loves, you know, but there are actually people who don't like the beach. Just like the mountains, you know, you get people who have a resonance with the mountains and they can just stay there forever, but then you get other people that just can't stand it. Maybe the bugs bother them, maybe they're scared of trees or other stuff. You know, but you know, it just depends on who you are. There are positive and negative vortexes, and these vortexes actually keep the balance of our atmosphere, believe it or not, and keep the magnetization of our atmosphere. They're basically kind of like little balancing things that make sure that our Earth doesn't go spinning towards the sun or spinning off away from the sun or drop into the eternal abyss that is space. Okay, but basically the reason is because these things are positive and negative power spots. The interesting thing is this: perhaps you can find a place that resonates with you so well that it can actually do things such as heal you. It can enhance your mental power. It can enhance your spiritual power. This is why people of a mystical nature will go around searching for their power spot. You have to find a place that resonates with you, and then you mark it as a place that resonates with you. You may have to search all over the place. There are millions of little places, even in your own area. You can be in your house and maybe that corner feels really, really good, but this corner doesn't. Yet, you know, there are people who will say, well, you know, it's got the window and everything and the light can come in here, but they don't really like it there. They like it on the other side. It's because it makes them feel powerful. Remember, we are all very, very different people. We are not the same. None of us is. Even twins are not the same. And in your particular case, I think that whole, one of the things you might do is just search around. And all you have to do is use your own intuition. Reach out with your feelings like there's an invisible hand coming from your head and feel what's going on. And then there's always that place that kind of pulls you. And you feel better by being pulled, and you feel comfortable in this place. That's when you've discovered where your power spot is. Sometimes you can get in touch with your power spot even though it's like 30 miles away. And all you have to do is really trail and reach that power spot. But when you do, you'll get the gift that it's holding for you. Phobias can be taken care of and cured with the power spot, with the energy that resonates in the power spot. For instance, you get people who are called tree huggers. And there's some people who literally hug trees or have to be in a tree. It's because they found a power spot for them. Or there are people who have to be on the edge of a cliff. That's a powerful spot for them. You know, there are people who have to be in the water. And they have to be in a certain type of water. Not just water, but a certain type of water. It's because they get the power from that place. Remember, we are more than just triune beings. We are special beings. We are all very special beings. Human literally means God-man. But have you ever stopped to think about the fact that that God part of yourself or that goddess part of yourself can be from anywhere? It doesn't have to be limited to Maine or Michigan even. You know, that's the human part of you that was born and has its origin in a certain place to certain people. But remember, it's not entirely just the animal part of yourself that enabled you to be who it is that you are. That took universal help and energy. And it's that universal help and energy that has an origin that could be anywhere. It could be into another galaxy, even maybe even another entire universe. And maybe there's a place on Earth that has the element that made you feel at home. And when you feel at home, that's when you've got that powerful spot. That's why things are the way that they are. They're positive and negative. You just have to find what is positive for you. So I hope that helps you out. It's good to hear from you always. Oh, by the way, how's my brother doing?
Mm-hmm.
Mike.
Oh, to Melinda.
Yeah.
Okay. That question, that last question was from Christine.
Oh, sorry, Christine, but I was also answering Melinda's question too.
Okay.
You know, so
we have,
I still want to know how my brother's doing.
We have Harold Murray on the phone from, let me see here, from Bangor Ghost Hunters Association. We met him at Fort Knox the first time we went. Hello?
Hello?
Let me turn my volume down.
Yeah, turn your volume down.
All right, did that. How you doing, Zane?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I have a question for you.
Sure.
I don't want to say what I do. You should know what I do. I don't want to talk my team or anything. We talked about 4 years ago. You told us to prepare for something. I've been doing some research on indigo children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Possibility I may have 2 or 3 of them here with me. And I'm wondering if I'm doing the right research on it to find out. I can find stuff on the internet.
Okay.
Some say the same thing, some say different.
Well, there's a lot of different takes on it. Sometimes you'll just get people who want their child to be more special than others. Okay, you know, so you've got to really be selective with your information. Tell me about the children.
Okay, like I said, if you remember 4 years ago we had met.
Yeah, I remember.
You did a reading on my fiance, who is my wife now.
Oh, congratulations.
You gave it. Alicia?
Yeah.
My wife. We had talked about something, and you talked about the strongness of the Virgo presence, and you prepared for something.
Yeah.
Spencer, who's
Yeah.
now 3 years old, is showing some unique, I would say supernatural, some strange gifts.
Okay.
He's never met his grandmother, but yet she had passed away once before he was born, and he can identify her in a photograph.
So does he ever say that he talks to her, or just identification?
Yeah.
Okay, so he talks to her. Okay, so what you have...
had conversations in the past with other ones.
I see.
Our latest one, who's now 10 months old, is starting to, like she's trying to communicate with something that's not there. So, like she's looking at the thin edge, she's like, now being who I am, I know what this is, but I want to see if they have it. Are they coming into a special field?
Okay, these children are coming in very, very, very special. However, I don't think that what you want to do is label them indigo children. I think what you want to label them, if you have to label them at all, because you really don't, is they're actually telepaths. In other words, they're telepathic. And sometimes the vibration of a telepath is kind of indigo. Most people see it as blue. For instance, my primary is indigo, but all vibrations change, you know, and they change minutely. However, it sounds as if you got telepathic people there, and they will probably need to be trained. Not until after they're like 7 years old, though. Okay.
Okay, because we have another one on the way, just for about 4 months.
Is she going through a lot?
What was that?
Is she going through a lot?
You going through a lot?
The mother, is she going through a lot right now?
Well, not that she knows right now.
Okay, all right. When she starts going through, you can help facilitate. If she does, if there's another one that's coming that is telepathic, one of the ways that you can facilitate is by talking to both of them, not just the mother or not just the child to both of them simultaneously. Do you understand?
So those were dispensary areas where sung and taught. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because remember, I wouldn't let her in the room that we were at. I said that she couldn't come in.
Right.
Okay, so what you need to do is address them both always. And if you got another telepath coming, which could be the case, you know, if it is the case, you're going to have to pay attention to both of them, and then you'll have to pay attention to all three of them. That would be a pretty powerful thing if you wound up with that particular formation. But remember, no training until after 7. You have to let them develop. You have to help them to develop. Do you understand? Don't try to train them, and don't try to let anybody else train them.
That's what I've been trying to tell Felicia.
Yeah.
I have a Celtic belief. It's my Irish heritage. And I'm also seeing this being repeated again. My daughter, my oldest daughter, who is 28, had this ability when she was younger. Was involved in a car accident before anybody else knew. She had talked to her mother, and that's how I was before mommy could tell what happened. And then my granddaughters have an ability too.
Okay. I'm very interested in your telepathic people, though. It sounds like your daughter was more intuitive, and that happens and it happens especially between father and daughter.
Well, just recently we had an event at the ring. Remember the ring I bought her?
Yeah.
She wanted so bad, and I didn't know about it. We bought that ring.
Okay.
So she started to show some connection back again to me. It's been about 20 years since she had any connection with me, and all of a sudden her connection's coming back, and also the granddaughter started showing connection. It's just something to do with the I want to say what I do and everything else, respect for you.
No, go ahead. As a matter of fact, that is respectful. I know you personally, and Harold is a paranormal investigator. He's probably one of the best around. And how long have you been doing this now?
Since 98.
Since 1998. And you've helped find children and other people, and you're good at it. We had a long talk, and I showed him some points when we did a speaking engagement at Fort Knox. And, so it doesn't surprise me at all that you would be going through this event, because I told you this is what you have to get ready for. Now, if it's happening again, you're really going to have to pay attention to these children, and please make sure that they develop, and just let their gifts be. If they tell you that they're seeing something, at least investigate it. Don't tell them no, it's not real. Just be open to what's going on.
Oh, that was okay. Oh yeah, we believe them. In my field, I believe all the children. I know they can see things at a certain age, but some of the things that they're seeing, there's some of the cases I've done. I've never seen kids like this. Like you mentioned earlier, there's something you have to be there to see, a witness. And see my 10-month-old just starting to do things that, like she is communicating with somebody. I've never seen that before, and in any of my cases, had reported to me, but never seen it like this.
I'd like to meet them at some point.
People just start actually mentioning names, and the people that, we don't even know who the heck he's talking about. They got names.
Yeah. I'd like to meet them at some point. I'd like to meet them at some point.
Well, my dad, you'd meet them too. I was going with reincarnation, but Spencer's coming up with too many names to be reincarnated, so I think he is heading down a certain road, and I want to keep him on that path.
Okay, then just let him be on that path.
What was that?
Just let him be on that path. Okay,
yeah.
just let him be and support him.
But I'm also giving that the spiritual guidance that he needs.
Oh, definitely that. Okay, so what I said, you have a couple of telepaths there, so you have to watch them, and they're probably going to tell you a lot more, because there's some activity that is happening lately, and it's actually been happening since December. So make sure that you're being attentive. Okay, and you since you have my number, that means you can call me from time to time.
Oh, yes, I can. One more other thing to show you that we've been getting some kind of proof that certain nights we go in around, we take the kids that this is not normal for a family to do. But there's some strange things going on around the house, so we take the tri-field meters to the kids, and they're saying those tri-field meters off. But yeah, they've got nothing but pictures or video yet with them.
Okay,
Just
all right.
tri-field and EMF.
Really? Okay, can you repeat that again? I got most of it, but I want everyone else to hear.
On certain nights, this is random nights, no particular nights, things will be going on in the house. Now, as being paranormal investigators, we cleaned this house. There's nothing here to make it haunted. Kids been following us for the last couple places we lived in. Like I said, you don't normally do this to your children. Do it in the middle of the night and put a tri-field reading on them or an EMF reading on it and get something. On the nights that Spencer has his class of his visions, he reads what, about 5, 6? Aries has given us about 3 or 4. And Felicia's first daughter does also have a reading, but it's a low reading.
Okay. Okay, that doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me at all that you...
My daughter Zoe, she's 5.
Hi.
And, hello. And one morning, when she got up, she told me that a guy had evidently, been on top of her or something like that. And he had pulled her pants down. He hadn't done nothing, sexual or anything. But she just said that he was mean and that he pulled my pants down. I'm like, well, why? What's going on with that? And that's the only time she's ever said anything.
Okay.
She might have something, too.
Okay. Well, if you get concerned about it, you can always bring her in to talk to me, and I can find out exactly what happened.
Okay.
We had talked to another person that we also know, you also know, too, and she thinks it may be a past residual haunting.
Yeah.
With Zoe.
Well, sometimes it's not really a residual haunting. Sometimes it's something different. It can also be a dimensional haunting.
That's what she said, too, a dimensional thing, too. We're in an area at one time was highly populated with former child molesters. They're no longer in the area. Some were when they died.
In
the area that we're living in right now, only that they're put in the same neighborhood within 2 or 3 buildings apart from each other.
Okay, then she may have picked up on the energy of that person. Sometimes the residual, sometimes the residual energy can actually be mobile.
Excuse me. Okay, so I guess I'm doing everything right.
Yeah, so far so good. It sounds like you are.
And actually, you confirmed some of the things that I've been telling Felicia, and actually you've been haunting me, since Spencer started seeing these things. For some reason, you just keep popping up some of the, at Fort Knoxville when we discussed and stuff. I said, I got to get a hold of it. I just found out that you have a show.
Yeah. Yeah, so feel free to call in at any time if you have something.
Well, one person already said, you got a new fan.
Awesome. Thank you. We appreciate new fans. And, maybe at some point in time I'll get back down to that area or back up to that area. And I can get... That'll be great. That would be awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's good to hear from you again.
Well, it was nice talking to you.
All right.
And I'll let you get back to your show.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for
calling in.
Have a good night. All right. Bye-bye.
And for our other viewers that were having a difficult time hearing what Harold was saying that he has a few, two or three children that are showing signs of telepathy. And on nights when they are showing signs of telepathy, Harold takes his EMF reader and trimeter and holds it up to his kids while they're sleeping, and their kids are registering on their readers at 3 or 5, between 3, 5, and 7 levels.
Which is actually pretty high. which is pretty high, laying down. And I think that's pretty good. I'd like to be able to at least observe them. You know, they're too young for any type of training. And this goes for anybody else that has a special child. If you have a child that is exhibiting paranormal or, psychic or telepathic ability, I know that you want to, try to get the child training as soon as possible, but you have to allow them the developmental part of their life, and that is the first 7 years. So no training until they're 7 years old. Okay? No training until they're 7 years old. I repeat that. No training until they're 7 years old. You have to give them time. It takes from birth to 7 years old for them to develop fully physically. You have to actually give them that time, and neurologically. So after that point, they can be given some initial training. Usually, it's pretty easy to deal with a child after that particular time. Before then, their bodies, their emotional body, their mental body is kind of, getting balanced. So you really have to wait. Okay, so when you're ready, however, though, there is plenty of us that can train them. If you have a child that has a marked ability, I deal with mutants, so I'd be more than happy to deal with them. Okay?
We have a question pertaining to that.
Sure.
Somebody asks, why do some children grow out of their vision while some retain it into adulthood?
Well, it's not really that they grow out of their vision. They usually have it... it depends on the situation. Sometimes they'll know that it's not accepted, and they'll just shut up about it. Then they'll cover it over with things of a physical nature. Other times they get ostracized. They get told that it's evil. They get told that it's bad. Other children that don't have their ability may ostracize and segregate them, and that can cause it. In my particular case, it was the only thing that I had. I mean, I grew up very, very physically and emotionally abused, so my gifts were the things that I could have, even while I was being beaten, there were angels that were talking to me, that were helping me to stay sane. It just depends on the child. Many of us do keep our abilities, and some of us give up the ability or cover it over because it's a safe thing to do. This is why when you have a child that has a marked ability, you must make them feel secure. And I don't care what the school system says. I don't care what the social system says. You have to, make a stand either for your child or the system. And I think it's unfortunate that the system is taking over raising your child when they don't pay for your child to be raised. They don't, buy food for your child. They don't buy supplies for your child. You're going to listen to people that have never had children or people that have never been around children. It's kind of listening to a dog trainer that's never had a dog. So when you meet gifted children, and usually they will show up. I mean, to me, I guess, and people who are like me, they can show up and you'll notice them right off. They have a marked presence. And the funny thing is that when a child comes up and says something to an adult, the adult many times will act very defensive, like, how could you, a mere child, know more than me? But it happens all the time. Happens all the time. You just kind of have to understand that not just children are gifted, but, you get a child that's only 3 or 4 years old that's telling you these things, you have to investigate. Not only investigate, you have to support that child so that they can tell you more of what it is that they're going through. Otherwise, they'll clam up. And the moment that they clam up, things start to diminish. So really, support your children. You say you want to support children. Listen, telling children that they can't enjoy certain things that you had as a child is not supporting them. Telling a child just because you don't like the Ferris wheel that they can't go on the Ferris wheel is not supporting them. Not allowing a child to do things like play with their friends because you're a mean, crotchety old bastard is not supporting them. Or because you're a control freak of a woman and you don't want other children to know that your child really wants to play with them That's not supporting them. Being a mother doesn't mean that you get to lord over this being that just wants to have a good time. You know, nor does being a dad. You know, of course, I lord over my daughter all the time.
Yeah, except for you.
Whatever.
It doesn't apply to you.
Shut up. My daughter doesn't speak out of turn. So be quiet. You're speaking out of turn.
Whatever.
So, I have officially told Kazi to shut up. And she always does what I tell her to do.
Yeah, sometimes.
Whatever. Yeah.
We have a question from who? David Jonathan Beal. He says, "Hi guys, I'm a little late. I was going to ask, if everything happens for a reason, what is your explanation as to why bad or evil exists?"
Because there are evil people in this world that do evil. Okay? That's a good point, though. You know, a lot of people ask a question, well, if God exists, then why does he allow such evil? I have the answer to that. Care to hear it? So, I'm going to let you hear it anyway. Listen, you have to remember some key points. We were given this one commodity. It's called free will. Free will is a beautiful thing. You get to use it. Unfortunately, you can be subjected to somebody else's free will. So you can't go around blaming God because there's evil in this world. It's not like God said, I'm going to allow evil to be evil. He says, okay, I'm going to give everybody free will, and hopefully you people don't screw everything up. Right.
It's my Korean drama laugh.
Because the truth is, you know, we got free will, and we screwed up. And we constantly screw up. This is why there's evil in this world. And there are evil people that seemingly just want to do evil things. And they wind up getting away with doing evil, causing other people pain, just simply for the reason of causing other people pain. And then they justify it, and then other people cause other people pain. It's not that, you know, God is at fault for, how can God look at all of these things happen and be God? Because maybe God is hoping that we have some level of intelligence. Maybe God is hoping that we will use that free will to do something positive and powerful and constructive. And some people do. You have to remember that. It's not all about evil. You know, it's really funny. People, you know, ask all the time, you know, why does God let evil happen? You know, if we get given free will, that means that you have a choice. You can do whatever you want to do with that free will. And you can't expect God to appear all of a sudden and say, I'm giving you free will. And then you decide to use it, and it turns out that using your free will is the wrong way or a bad way to use it. And then God says, I'm taking your free will back because you've used it for evil. You know?
You're wrong. Take it back.
I know. All of a sudden God says, that's great that you have used your free will, but you're wrong, and I'm taking it back. You're getting more free will. You know, like I said, you can be subjected to other people's free will. For instance, God never meant for me to be brutalized as a child. He doesn't mean for anyone to be brutalized as a child. But there are other people out there that don't know God. And there are even other people that don't really care what God thinks. Because they have maybe the illusion that God doesn't exist. Or maybe they just think that God won't mind. You know, or Goddess won't mind. Or maybe they just don't pay attention to themselves. Or maybe they don't care about anything. Well, guess what? It's their choice to be that way. And when evil people decide to do evil, that is their choice. Doesn't mean that it's right. Doesn't mean you have to agree with it. Doesn't mean you have to like it or even let it go past. But think about this. Most people that ask, why does evil exist in this world? When they have the opportunity to do something about it, don't. Tell me now, what's that got to do with God? I would think it has more to do with that person's resolve to do something. Or not to do something. When it all comes down to it, it's really simple. Great artists and writers pose the question to us all the time. When you see evil happening, you have a choice to stop it or not stop it, to do something about it or not to do something about it, to be or not to be. That simple. Evil exists because we allow it to exist. If you don't want to allow it to exist, stop it. Do something to make it stop. Ask yourself, well, what should I do? Should I be or should I not be? I know that I'm making a comedy of it, but in truth, it comes down to that. You say that you are good, then be good. Or choose not to be good. Because remember, to choose not to do something when you see evil happening is to condone evil, and therefore makes you evil. So if you don't want evil to exist, don't let evil be. Do something.
David Jonathan Beale says, "Cool. I just wanted to hear your take on it. If we were to take it to further extremes, what about angels and demons?"
Well, they're fighting on our behalf and against us all the time. Remember what I said before. There's always that side that wants to support you and see you do your highest good. But then there's that side that wants to defeat you and bring you utterly down. You are right in the middle, walking the razor's edge. If you go too much into the heaven side, you're totally ineffectual and can do no one any good. If you're totally into the hell side, you're definitely no good to anyone. So you've got to keep yourself balanced. Find a way to understand that these things are going on all of the time in your life and you have a choice. So again, to be or not to be. Do I step forward or do I not? If you wish for evil to disappear, then do something. Step forward and the angels will back you. If you wish to allow evil to be, let it be, and the demons will back you. It's all up to you. Remember, it's your life. It's not theirs. They will exist with or without you. Comes down to you. Comes down to all of us. Don't use evil to try to fight evil, though, because then you'll be evil. But understand the true nature of good isn't being docile and just allowing things to happen. Either way, it's a fight. Don't be scared. Go for it. Hope that helps you out. All right, what have you got?
Kathy Silver says, "I agree. I'm sitting here all by myself clapping." That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Arlisha Valentine asks, "What would you suggest a person do if they suppressed their talents?"
Then be honest with yourself and bring it back and say that I'm going to nurture you now. Apologize to yourself for doing such a thing and for allowing such a thing, and start, and then seek training. If you need training, just apologize to yourself. Heck, I do it all the time. You know, I allowed myself to get way too heavy and out of shape at one point in time. I apologized to myself and said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I allowed that to happen. And then change it. Again, I must have been Shakespeare or somebody, because I'm like, to be or not to be.
I think it was the lone stranger get up.
Oh yeah, it might have been.
And she, Arlisha Valentine also asks, what does she also ask? She says, can you tell me what I can do to get rid of negative thought forms?
Oh yes. If you're talking about existing negative thought forms, you can do what a lot of people do, which is sage, burn a candle, and say some prayers. If you're talking about within yourself, then you have to give yourself something to focus on daily. One of the things that I give all of my students is this. I give them a chant that I learned many, many years ago, and it worked. I now exorcise from my mind all evil thought, all jealousy, suspicion, and hate, and I am filled with the pure light of divine love. I'll say that again for you. I now exorcise from my mind all evil thought, all jealousy, suspicion, and hate, and I am filled with the pure light of divine love. Try using that. My recommendation is for you to say it 10 times before you go to bed and 10 times when you wake up. After a while, it will begin to work all by itself, and then you will feel better. You will be able to go long stretches without manufacturing negative thought forms. And hopefully, you will keep using it. And if you need training, you know where to reach me. I teach by Skype, and I teach in person. And all you have to do is go to www.unicorn-cove.com, and we can arrange some things. Or you can give us a call at area code 207-347-5686. I will train you in methods that will work for you, help you to enhance your gifts, to reclaim them and enhance them, put them in order. You'll need them. All right. Hope that helps you out. Anything else?
Yeah, I have another question from Arlisha, and I'm trying to find it.
You lost the question.
No. It is somewhere. Sonari will send it to me.
How'd you lose it?
We have a lot of going on in the chat room.
Oh, wonderful. I like when there's a lot going on in the chat room.
And Kathy Silver says, I'm very happy that I found you too.
Well, we're very happy that you found us too.
Oh, yeah. We have a couple of new listeners, so that's good.
Okay,
Yay.
that's good.
Oh, and I wanted to give a shout out to Spirits Left Behind. Congratulations on your certification. Yay!
Yay! They have completed the course in psychic police training.
Yay!
And now they are official psychic policemen. Awesome. If you too would like to be a psychic policeman, give us a call and we'll put you through the psychic police training.
And that is area code 207-347-5686. And, oh, no, that was her 2 questions. We answered Arlisha's questions already.
Ha, that's because we're psychic.
I know, because we're awesome.
Well, I'm a telepath. She's psychic.
Borderlining psycho. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of.
She's not kidding.
I said kind of.
I tell you, she's psycho. Okay, what else have you got?
I think that's it. Let me see.
What's our time like?
We are at 1 hour and 9 minutes.
Wow. Okay. I guess I'll end the show since everybody's out of questions. I'd like to thank you all for joining us this evening on Ask the Unicorn. Remember, if you have any questions, write them down so you remember them. Also, please tell your friends about the show. We would like to get everyone to watch this show if we could. There will always be answers for you, and you're always welcome here, and we will try try to address all of the questions that get asked of us. You can also call in, so tell your friends that there's no question I cannot answer except for the two that I have before named. Now, once again, I'd like to thank you all, and I'd like to tell you all to have a wonderful week. Do something fun this week. You know, do something beautiful this week.
Get some bangles. I'm just kidding. Kind of. I had my dorky moment.
What moment? You're always a dork.
I did it by watching you. I learned it by watching you, okay?
Whatever. You know, so do something beautiful. Do something fun. Listen, it doesn't matter if you have any money. Like us, we don't have any money. But you know, we managed to have a good time. You know, just do something beautiful and fun. You know, get with your friends. Do something good. Play video games.
Mask party. Buy masks.
Yeah.
And watch an awesome show.
You too can have fun for less than $3.99. And,
I don't have mine tonight.
The only thing about this mask is, you know, I already have a big head. It makes my head look incredibly big. I mean, it does.
You can't do
look.
anything to hide your big head. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but all the same, it's the design of these things. It makes my head look really, really large.
At least your head doesn't look like a moai, like the rocks.
No, my head doesn't look like a moai, but with this mask on, it looks like a giant potato.
Dude, and you're Scottish. When we go to Home Depot, Ahura's voice changes, and it turns into like some creepy Scottish person.
What? I'm not being a creepy Scottish person. I'm being exactly what I am, a creepy Scottish person.
And then people walk by, like giving him the hairy eyeball. They're kind of not sure.
One lady followed me all over the place because she thought I was fine as hell with this Scottish accent.
Oh, yeah, right. Because you're so exotic.
She's like, where are you from?
Exotic. So she's going to welcome you to America.
I did get welcome to America. What are you talking about?
We both got welcomed to America. Welcome to America.
Yeah, I'm like, I grew up in Los Angeles.
Wait a minute. We're from the States. What are you talking about?
But she says, you mastered the English language so well. And I went, seriously?
She thought you were a Maori.
I am Maori.
But like from New Zealand. Like.
Yeah, but still, you know, I told her, well, she's you know, she's looked at me like this, and I said, well, yeah, I'm Polynesian, I'm Maori. And she goes, welcome to the United States.
No,
you have mastered the language so wonderful.
Yeah, and we both did one of these.
Yeah.
Well.
You know, so it was funny.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Bless her heart.
Yes, this is a comedy segment of the show. You know,
you're so serious for the first hour. I have to get it out.
What? I'm never that serious. I mean, except for when I'm ranting about something.
Yes, you can be serious.
Well, that's because I was ranting about something.
For many minutes.
Yes, I can be serious for many minutes.
And I can't sit still this long for many minutes.
I have learned to sit still. Yeah, but yeah, if you'd like to join in on our fun time, you're welcome to do that. So just
maybe next week I'll have perfected my honey badger dance moves.
Whatever.
And then I can show everybody.
Yeah, maybe we can get like a better thing so that we can actually show stuff on the screen from time to time.
Yeah, we should look into Google
I got this
Hangouts.
fancy screen right here that can show all kinds of neat videos to you people. Like, at some point in time, maybe we can like show them clips from our adventures. Oh, by the way,
which adventures?
I meant to mention these things. You know, I'm involved in several film projects, and I'm also doing my own film. The name of our film is called Valkyr.
That's Game of Thrones. You can't use that one.
Sorry.
How about
No, not that one either. Can't use that one. But the film that I am making, because I also am founder and owner of Unicovia Pictures, is called Valkyr. And Valkyr is a story about women that are taken from different time periods by fate herself and offered a choice to meet their fate or to become legendary creatures known as the Valkyrie and save the Earth. And it promises to be a very, very good film. We only get to film on one day a week because we have no money. But that doesn't stop me. You know, I have a camera that works, and I'm very appreciative of my cameras that work. And we film. We make things out of stuff, you know, that we find. You know.
Yeah, we're pretty
resourceful. You know, but we'll be filming this weekend in Standish. And we're pretty what?
Last night I made a comment and it was just really
What'd you
funny.
say?
It was a little inappropriate humor.
You people quit making inappropriate typey things. Anyway, we'll be filming in Standish this weekend, Saturday, and we're filming a scene where one of the Valkyrie, before she becomes a Valkyrie, gets accused of being a witch because she won't marry some
that again?
guy.
Gets accused of being what?
A witch. Oh Lord.
Wow.
Anyway, she gets accused of being a witch, so she's about to get burned at the stake, and then I, as Thor, God of Thunder,
but they are
flash in to save her at the behest of fate. But Anthony Hopkins says, "We are not gods."
But we are not gods. Okay.
That is not true. Thor is a god of thunder. Don't you ever forget that. Anthony Hopkins was wrong. Okay? So, I think that people like Stan Lee take legends that are really real and then water them down, put them in tights and wearing their underwear on the outside of their clothes, and
Sexy.
then take a Norse god and make him say things like, "Enow, for I shall smite thee with my hammer Thor," in an English accent when I'm not English.
They're all Shakespearean, like they're all a bunch of Shakespearean actors.
Yeah, that reminds me, we were supposed to talk about movies. Listen, there's some movies out. Yes, we were. There's some movies out. I think one of the coolest series that there is out at the moment is Game of Thrones. Anyway, so that's one of the coolest series out. But I also like K-dramas, Korean dramas. K-dramas. Okay, they are Korean dramas. And let's see. I think that the second installment of 300 was great. Just so you all know that. Mm-hmm. The Desolation of Smog was okay. Yeah, it was all right, except for again the dwarves that they called dwarves reminded me more of Klingons. You know.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, they did act like, especially that lead guy. Yeah. Anyway.
And they did not have beards.
Yeah, they didn't have beards. What happened to all that stuff? Anyway. It's the independent filmmakers like myself that make it so you people are not bored, because Hollywood keeps doing the same crap over and over again. If I see one more installment of Gone with the Wind, one more remake of Gone with the Wind, I'm going to puke. Okay? I'm just saying that, because that's ridiculous. It's gone. Let the wind keep it gone. Okay? Breakaway Scarlet, I don't give a damn. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. There's also, let's see, are they going to make another Batman movie? I hope not. Let's see, I think this Man of Steel was good. It was really flipping long, though, and I fell asleep in the middle.
Oh, wait, what were you talking about? Sorry, I was checking on Facebook what was going on.
Well, that's because I was talking about Man of Steel.
Too funny. Yeah.
It was really crappy. I thought it had great potential. I did not hate the actor that was Superman.
Good.
He was great.
He's got a great attitude about working for roles.
I think that they just didn't use him right. They made the bad guys look cooler.
The movie could have been over in half an hour.
No, at least
45
2 hours.
minutes. I
personally like Christopher Reeve as Superman. But this guy wasn't bad. He didn't have his undies on outside. What's the whole panties on the outside of the...
Nobody had
That's anyway, you know. And it just looked rather funny. He's got an S and red panties. So that was good. Thor, the second Thor movie was great.
Great, yeah.
Thor's hairdo looked a little Sybil Shepherd, but okay.
Who?
Thor.
A little what?
Sybil Shepherd. You're too young to know who Sybil Shepherd is.
I don't know who that is. We need to go see Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Yes, we will be talking about Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
God bless America.
That's right.
And nowhere else.
For America.
What?
You know, I have my PlayStation 4, right? So there's this one feature where you can actually talk to other people from all over the world. And I like going to the Japan places and saying, hello from America. You know, so they like it. They go, oh, hello from America. What's America?
No, we did that to some
that
people
was,
in the UK. They're like, oh, America. Where is America?
Where's America?
I think that's in...
And then someone said, that's America.
I think that's in, like, Monaco or...
Because
what
that's
did
what
they
we
say
call
it was? I forgot.
America. You know, anyway, there's some good movies out. RoboCop I might want to see. I hope they didn't ruin it.
And we need to go see Transcendence.
Yeah, with Johnny Depp. I like Johnny Depp. I have a bone to pick with him, so if I meet Johnny Depp, I'm going to ask him why he played the role of Tonto.
Oh.
You know, that was ridiculous. You know, and people actually believe that was a real Crow, Indian, you know, get up. It's not. It was made up. Okay, for all you people that think that you're historians, you're kidding yourself. Okay, what other movie is coming out or is out? Sonari really wanted to see, well, she wanted to see The Wolf of Wall Street with that guy who looks like Matt Damon now.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And you know, I liked him as a young actor, and he's an even better actor now. And this is the truth. I got one problem with it. Matthew McConaughey is in it. Matthew McConaughey by himself is okay, as long as he's doing something like slaying dragons and not really talking a whole lot. But
we only have like 9 people watching. Everybody kind of left.
That's nice. I'm just doing the show for my own entertainment right now, and those people who want to be entertained.
She says, "I didn't want to see The Wolf of Wall Street that bad."
Yes, she did. She was like, she cried because we went to see The Desolation of Smaug.
Smog.
Is it Smaug?
Smog.
Smog. We went to see Smog. And Sonari actually went and wouldn't sit with us. She went to the back of the theater, and her popcorn got all soggy because she was crying in it. Because she wanted to see The Wolf of Wall Street. So I gave her a concession, and we went to see.
Stop it!
We went to see.
We're just joking.
Yeah, we're just playing with it. We went to see 300 instead. You know. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the show. It was fun just playing with you all. I'll see you all next week. I'm Ahura Z. This is Kazi. I hope you all have a beautiful week. Like I said, go see a movie or something. And if you're in Standish on Saturday around noon-ish to like 4, we will be filming, and you're welcome to stand by and watch. Only understand this. I have a habit of absorbing people into my projects.
Yes. If you come by to watch, you might as well bring some peasant clothing, because we need all the extra peasants to cheer on the
not just cheer on,
either
to
object or cheer on. We just need a group of peasants to be there. So if you want to come by, bring some peasant clothes.
Yes. And I will see you all next week on Ask the Unicorn. Dun 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 dun.